Well, it's Rob's Arcade, where the games are played. You're just a comic page from a sunny day in Rob's Arcade. Well, hello guys, what's going on? And welcome to Rob's Arcade. I'm your host, as always, Infinite Rob French. And today we're here with, of course, another midweek breakdown. Now, if you tuned in last week, you saw that last week's midweek breakdown was a little bit of a disappointment. It was a little sad, but I do have some updates and some rainbows at the end of the rainstorms. Now, again, my midweek breakdowns have recently, up until late, been like, video game time in the GTA world, but my wife and I have been hitting the comics and grabbing lunch together. And so I've decided to start documenting my comic book runs and our lunch dates for the midweek breakdown, as well as kind of catching you guys up and giving you some, some updates and just some general info about what's been going on in, our lives. I did a second part to Monday's show to give you guys an update on Veda, but I think that got pulled because of some of my language at the end of the video, which I don't really remember having such a potty mouth, but I guess I did. At any rate, just to give you an update on Veda, she's doing great. Surgery went very well. She's home resting. She's got tons of meds that she's on, pains and sedatives, just to kind of keep her kind of chill and mellow and relax for the next 2 weeks while she recovers. But she is home safe. Everything's gone good, and just can't wait till she's back to her old self and running around and being able to jump in and out of the bed. She can't even really go up and down the stairs at this point. She's got to take it really easy. And she's one of those, like, if we're on the couch, she wants to be on the couch with us. If we're in the bed, she wants to be in the bed with us. And so my wife has actually been a super champ and has kind of resigned herself to the floor, essentially, just to make sure that she's there with her all the time. And she doesn't have to get up for anything basically. So yeah, my wife's awesome, but that's a little bit of a sad news on today's midweek breakdown, where my wife won't actually be coming out with me today. So that's kind of disappointing there. But hopefully we'll get some positive and some good picks from the comic shop today. Like I said, last week there was a little bit of a disappointment with the whole Batman 0 Point fiasco. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, just go back and watch last week's midweek breakdown. But there is, like I said, a rainbow at the end of that story, where I couldn't find the issue of Batman 0 Point, the #1 issue. It completely sold out all over Richmond. Basically, I think it was just people just buying up the issue to resell on the internet. And I was kind of at wit's end. I was really sad, really disappointed. But I remembered, again, my wife has a cousin who actually works in a comic shop down in Florida, Yancey Street Comic South. And I just messaged her real quick through Facebook. I'm like, hey, is there any chance you guys have this laying around? She just messaged her boss. She said she was actually going to get to work in a little while and she would ask him. But I feel like it was just moments later she messaged me back. So I'm assuming she just called him real quick to see what the deal was with the comic. He had a few, and a $20 PayPal payment later, the comic's on its way. So hopefully it should be actually here very soon, I would think. And very excited to know that, there is always hope. There is hope out there. I didn't really want to go through I guess a third party guy, just some rando who happened to pick up multiple issues of this comic. I didn't really want to go through something like that. I wanted to kind of go through a shop if possible. I'm also curious today to see if they'll have any issues in today, if they're going to do a second print. If that's the case, then I feel kind of silly for freaking out for nothing. But, it's just one of those things that, when you can't get it, I think you want it even more. So last week was a bit of a meltdown. Also, not available last week was The Berserker 2, which is a title that Keanu Reeves has been working on writing with Matt Kine, and it says here there's a little ticket that came with it that fell out of the comic when I bought this guy here. Pretty cool. I like this Epazaka. There was a little insert that fell out of the comic, and it says here, come back to your local shop, you purchased Berserker 1 on April 14th, 2021, and you buy the second copy, and you show this insert, and you get a free comic. And it says right here, I mean, I don't know if I can zoom in on that for you guys, right there, April 14th. What's the date, like the 28th, I guess? I mean, it's been and then I think it was like a message, oh no, we're sorry, it'll be like the 21st, it'll be out. But this thing has just not been available anywhere. And it's Boom Studios. I feel like it's kind of a younger independent comic company, and so they might have a hard time getting sometimes, I guess, all the information just right, whether it's miscommunication within their own company or simply just not being able to get issues out on time. Who knows? But hopefully this will be available to get this get a free copy of Something is Killing the Children #1. So that's just something fun. And then also last week just wasn't a big comic book week. I felt like there was a lot of issues that were going to be coming out last week. It just really, they weren't really there. So hopefully this week there'll be more titles out and a few more selections. But yeah, I mean, so there we go. There's kind of like a little, like I said, catch up from Monday. Like I said, Veda's doing great. The comic book is on the way. So I want to thank Courtney Dover, my cousin's, my wife's cousin. I want to thank her very much, and again, a shout out to Yancey Street Comics. You guys are awesome, really saved the day, and the guy didn't try to like rip me off, or I think I wound up just really having to pay for the shipping, which was not very much, and probably paid less for the comic book than it is going for on the internet. Like I said, given the fact that there's these Fortnite cool skin code available inside, and I say that mockingly, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited to see what it looks like. But anyway, enough yappity yap, talky talk. Let's go ahead and let's see. We'll go ahead and mask up, and we'll hat up, and we'll head out, and I'll see you guys out in the real world later. Wait, hold on. All right, guys, here we go, heading out. The store has like officially just opened, so I'm kind of interested to see the crowd first thing in the morning. Haven't done that in a while. Typically with my wife, it takes a little bit longer to get ready. I know, don't really just like head right out. But I gotta take the trash to the curb. Shoot. Today I'm heading out a little bit earlier, so it'll be interesting to see the crowd. Hold on, I'm gonna do a little spin around here real quick. I gotta take the trash to the curb, man. Yeah, it really is amazing, like how little changes. Oh, you want to get your comic books? Oh, well, you gotta make sure you do your chores. You take the trash to the curb. I'll do it when I get back. All right, I got 2 jobs. Comics and food. And no filming while driving.
All right, guys. Well, as you can see, we are here. It doesn't look like it's too crowded. Wish me luck, huh? Wow, guys. Awesome, awesome. What a freaking makeup day. Not only I have some of the books I was looking for, but a huge run. I mean, I gotta show you guys here a nice stack of comics today. They did finally have the Berserker 2. Here's one of the issues I picked up. I grabbed all the different variants, as well as Something is Killing the Children, #1 from Boom Studios. Very cool, very excited. And it's always just, you know, free for that like cool promo, free content kind of stuff, you know, where it's almost like a reward for being a comic book collector. These little cool things that you get, these little promos and little exclusives. And it's cool to know they weren't all sold out this time. I actually got to take advantage. It wasn't too busy. The morning crowd, not too bad this week. I don't know. Like I said, I honestly just don't think last week's selling out of that Batman issue was simply they didn't order enough, or you know, they just had more of a demand. I honestly believe you had like a handful of people coming in and buying up every issue first thing in the morning. So to them. Next on the list, I guess, is picking up some lunch for my wife and I. Also got to stop by the grocery store as well. So let me talk to her and check 1 off the list. I got to get check 2, some food for lunch today. And when I get back to the arcade, I'll show you everything I picked up. It's gonna be cool. All right, guys, later. Oh wait, there we go. Oh wait, there we go. Oh, nope. What? All right, my wife said something about trying an Irish place. I was asking her just now where it is, but I think it's in this parking lot. So I'm just actually going to pull in here real quick and just kind of hang tight while I wait for her to message me back. Because I might actually be here before she even orders the food. Like, that'd be freaking nuts. Actually, I had that happen at a restaurant once. Guy showed up to pick up the food. His wife forgot to order it. And so he called her, and then he left, and she called to place the order. It's like the stupidest thing. I guess she said Irish, and this is O'Toole's. O'Toole's here. Yeah, let's go grab a spot like right over here. See what she says. All right, well, here we are, peoples, back inside the arcade after grabbing some comics and some lunch. And oh my gosh, I'm so full. Went to O'Toole's. I've never eaten there before. Picked up some lunch for my wife and I. Really good. She was like, "Do you want to do something Irish?" And I was like, sure. And so I'm thinking like right away, like there's going to be like meaty potato kind of dishes, just like beef and like gravy and potatoes and like roasted chicken and carrots. Like that's kind of, I guess, a lot of breads maybe. I don't know, like I wasn't really sure what to picture. Sheep's stomach, I don't know. Anyway, it was really good, nice menu. I went with well, first my wife wanted fish and chips, and she got a nice little side salad, really beautiful. And then I went with the patty melt, which seemed, Paddy O'Toole is a one lucky chum. I don't know. That was awful.
It was really good. I'm always like a sucker for a good patty melt. You know, it's like a really basic burger. It's the onions, the melted cheese, almost like something you would find off of a grill at like a diner, a Waffle House kind of place. You know, a little truck stop along the side of the road, and they have the patty melt on the menu. It's like, oh yeah, let's always go with the patty melt. But yeah, it was really good. The fries were great. And yeah, just super full. But let's go ahead and you know, show you everything I got from the comic shop. As I was saying earlier, before I grabbed lunch, I was lucky to get the free promo that I was looking to grab today, and as well as some other really cool stuff. A great day for comic book grabs. Because my wife wasn't there, I did grab her a few things. She's a huge fan of like Riverdale, and she's kind of getting into the Archie comic side of the things, where you know you have Riverdale, but then you have these more, I guess, fun comics that, you know, the darker stories of Riverdale are based off. So I got her one of these. Spring Break, always fun little stories. And then speaking of more fun comic stories, we got Disney comics and stories. And again, these are always just fun. Some of the first comics, again, I got into growing up were like the horror comics, the Tales from the Crypt, and then the, you know, the Disney comics as well, which often had creepy, scary little ghost stories within the books themselves, which was always kind of fun because, you know, you're getting fun stories that have a little a little bit of fear and a little bit of ghost story implemented in them as well. So pick these up for the wife. Of course, we have the free promo I was able to grab. Something is Killing the Children. Never really even heard of this before the promo, but it looks like it's going to be very interesting. The artwork looks amazing, and the colors are really cool too here. Go ahead and show you these names here on the back. The artist there, because I don't want to butcher any of these guys' names. But yeah, it looks like a very cool, creepy title from Boom Studios. And again, I kind of grew up with horror comics, so anything that's got a little bit of blood and a little bit of mystery and a little bit of horror in it, you know, I can't turn down. Went ahead and picked up the new Superman Action Comics. I was really running strong with the Superman titles when Michael was doing them, Michael Bendis, but I don't know. He's kind of hopped out, and I'm still picking up the titles, but they're not quite as great as when he was doing the writing. We got Johnson in here now, but you know, always looking forward to when new creators take over a book, because you know, it makes it fresh. It gives it a new twist, and who knows, as the story progresses, you know, this might be a title that I'll still continue to enjoy. We got picked up a couple variants on this. The Miles Morales Spider-Man Clone Saga. Now, the Clone Saga has a very infamous and notorious reputation associated with Spider-Man. The Clone Saga was not a very popular one for the original Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Leaves a lot of complications, a lot of confusion as to who was the real Spider-Man, what Spider-Man experienced, what memories, and all of that. Was a fun idea, but like I said, just ran into a lot of confusion. So I don't know. Hopefully the Clone Saga with Miles Morales will be a little bit better. Looks like it's definitely going to be a lot different. It doesn't look like it's going to be kind of like the same story arc we're going to get with the original Clone Saga, but I'm just really surprised Marvel decided to go with another Clone Saga after some of the negative feedback from the original. Let's see here. I got some spawns here. Spawn 317 popped out. So mega spawn here on the front. I think everybody's looking forward to when this action figure finally comes out. It'll probably be like a Build-A-Figure. I'm guessing this guy's just so huge. Got the black and white variant there. Very cool. It's always fun to see McFarlane coming back and doing some artwork. And we have this one here, which is just really, really cool, creepy here. I like all the little demons on the chain there. And then we have this one, which is a kind of like the last cover, or the last cover, very like painting and like they paint like an art portrait, if you will, style. But you know, pretty cool, pretty cool. I've always looked forward to grabbing Spawn, something I've been collecting since I was about 12. Got out of it for a little bit, you know, missed a few issues here and there, and then a lot, big chunks, but I'm getting back into it. Very happy that it's still around. Let's see here, got the Flash 769. Just like this cover. Very cool. Doesn't look very happy there. Let's see here. That looks like Jesse Quick, maybe? Not really sure who that is. Then we got the Berserker #2 here. Very cool cover. And got the metallic version there. And then, let's see, that's the one I showed you guys there in the car. Kind of reminds me of War Machine a little bit, but definitely, that's a definite, like, Keanu Reeves likeness. It's like, yeah, I'm going to write this comic book, and I want you guys to make the guy look like me. Whoa, that's really cool. All right, we got the new Batman Detectives here. Batman's another one I've been reading for years and years now. I've never picked up a bad comic book with the Batman in the title. It's never ever happened. I've always enjoyed Batman. Every spin-off, you know, Gotham Knights and or just everything. The Urban Knights, the Urban Legends he's doing now, just all this stuff. It's just always Batman. Is just, you can never go wrong with anything in the Bat family, really. Now, this is something I'm looking forward to grabbing. Second issue popped out today, and I was lucky they still had one issue of the first issue there. And that was something I was going to pick up, and I was like, nah, I don't know if I'm going to get into this. I don't know if I want to check it out. But I don't know. I have some hopes that this character might be coming to the MCU pretty soon. So I figured I'd go ahead and give this guy a run, get a little bit of background on who he is and what he's all about. And like I said, the second issue came out today. Now, for those of you who don't know who Beta Ray Bill is, of course, he's like this horse-looking alien character that, you know, inherits similar powers to Thor and a very similar look to Thor, as we can see here in this cover. I mean, it's like basically a horse Thor's. Very, very strange character. Now, he has kind of made a debut in the MCU with like a sort of cameo appearance in Thor Ragnarok. You can see his face is one of the faces that's on the tower. Like there's a big establishing shot of the city, and you can see these kind of like a Mount Rushmore style of statue, these faces around this tower, and he is one of the faces on the front of the tower there. Picked up this here, Way of the X. Now this I think also came out perhaps last week, but it was another title I just kind of skipped. wasn't really sure if it was something I would be into, but I see now that it ties very much into like everything else going on in the X-Men universe. And the X-Men is something else that I'm kind of getting back into now, growing up. You know, like I said, you know, it had like, it went basically like horror comics, Tales from the Crypt, into like Punisher, and then like Wolverine, and then from there it kind of trickled into Spider-Man, and then I guess like X-Men was probably like one of the next also titles that I picked up, just because Wolverine was always hanging out inside those issues as well. And so it was a great way to get more of one of my favorite characters right off the jump in the Marvel Universe, which is, of course, you know, Wolverine. So it was nice. I got like Wolverine issues, and then I got X-Men issues, and then you know, that just led to that whole world with X-Force, Excalibur, and I'm starting to get back into those titles now, as well as like Wolverine, and they're all a lot of fun. They seem a lot more structured and a lot more thought out than they were when I was growing up. Like every book essentially just felt like either like, well, this is the Europe version of X-Men, or this is the young version of X-Men, and this is the misfit version of X-Men, and it was all just different versions of X-Men. And now like each book seems like it has a place and like a very fitting structure into how the whole dynamic of this like House of X is supposed to operate. So interested to see Way of X and how that kind of fits in with all the other titles going on, like X-Force and X Factor, and another new favorite title of mine right now, Children of the Atom, which also deals with super powers and mutants, but I'm not so sure these Children of the Atom are in fact mutants. I think it might actually be suits that they're using that are kind of like enhanced suits, kind of like Iron Man type tech, giving the perception that they have superpowers. Let's see here. And then last but not least, this looks like it should be a very cool, very fun title. Oh, this is very ironic. I didn't even really notice this. But we have The Amazing Spider-Man Curse of Man-Thing. I always love crossovers. And this is very neat because we have Man-Thing here, of course Spider-Man, and then the Lizard. Picked up a variant. Excuse me. Picked up the variant cover. Gosh. Pardon me, people. Let me clear my throat. Gosh. All right. So then we have the variant put up here by Orlando, which is interesting because the first time Spider-Man faces the Lizard, I believe it's in Florida. I don't think it's in Orlando. I think it is Florida. So that's very cool. It's kind of a weird coincidence. We have the Lizard facing off in what looks like the Everglades. This story takes place in Florida. That'd be really crazy. Done by a guy named Orlando. That's a weird coincidence. All right, let's check it out. Let's see if this book actually takes place in Florida. Let's see here. We got the setup. All right, we got Brooklyn, New York. We got all these guys fighting here in Brooklyn, New York. We got London, Sydney. Wow, this story takes place all over. Oh, yeah, here we go. Down here in Florida. So very interesting. Yeah, some of the story takes place down here in Florida, it looks like. Back here in New York. So that's very ironic. Got the Lizard hanging out in Florida in a comic written by Steve Orlando. Very neat. Very cool. All right, so yeah, those are my grabs I got today. And then I also picked up a very cool Richmond Comics sticker celebrating 30 years. That's pretty impressive. 1987 to 2017.
excuse me, I've been there, going there since I was about, like I said, 12, 13 years old myself. So really cool. These guys are still hanging out. That was definitely the Patty Melt talking back to me there. And then I'm going to use the sticker. I think I'm going to put it on this really cool red book that my cousin got me. He works in the supply room. But I think I'm going to make it like my little Richmond Comics book where I can kind of keep track of books I need, books I want, maybe values of different things. And it could kind of just be like my little comic book, which I think would be a really cool little thing there. So yeah, guys, I guess that's it. I guess that's it for today's midweek breakdown. Thank you so much for hanging out, checking out all the comics I got. Much happier with my comic book run this week than I was last week, and very excited. Hopefully, that issue of Batman will be showing up soon. I didn't see any reprints of Batman 0 Point, so I'm wondering if once that series is just printed and done, that's it. Like they're not, a lot of times you run into comic shops and you'll find reprints of certain issues, especially if they're popular and they start to sell out. They'll do second runs and second printings on certain issues. But I don't know if that's going to be the case with this. I was very, very lucky again to find some friends and some help down in Florida. Again, Florida, down at Yancey Street Comics there. So again, thanks for hanging out, guys. Please, like, subscribe, comment, share, all those things. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, don't spend your quarter anywhere else. I'm going to drink this water and then go gargle with some Listerine, because apparently all that pollen isn't quite out of the air just yet. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. Until next time, peace.